Yeah, that would probably help if I brought the microphone a little closer. Hey there, welcome into the Ben Maynard program. Thanks for being here. Before we get started, a little bit of housekeeping to take care of. Let's fix this now. Let's leave the camera alone for right now. As you know, this program is available wherever you stream your podcasts. Just search the Ben Maynard program. Boom, it's right there, and go with it. But do me a favor, subscribe to it and download it. Okay, downloads are important. And then you can also leave me a 5-star review because I deserve it. All right. But if you can't resist some of this right here and you're watching on YouTube, then thank you for doing that. Again, you have to subscribe to the channel though. When you do that, hit the notification bell too, because when you do that, you'll get notified every time a new episode drops. All right. Then you got to give me a thumbs up. And you have to leave a comment. All right. Leave a comment. I love the comments. And I reply to all your comments as well. Let's see. Then you have to tell 1,000 of your family and friends. All right. Used to be 10,000, but really nobody knows 10,000 people. So tell 1,000 of your family and friends and share it. Share it. Okay. Sharing is important. Share it with all your people. All right. Last but not least, follow me on Instagram. Simply Ben Maynard Program, all one word. Or on the TikTok at the Ben Maynard Program. All right. So there are plenty of ways to take in this show for your dancing and listening pleasure. And this morning, this is going to be a ton of fun. I'm so looking forward to this. My guest today was born Western music royalty, but this rhinestone cowgirl has stepped out on her own to craft music that is equal parts Texas, Bakersfield, I love that, and Nashville country, making her very own country western honky tonk sound. And I love that so much. That's my kind of jam when it comes to country music. So without further ado, it brings me great pleasure to welcome to the Ben Maynard Program, Miss Olivia Harms. Hi, Olivia.
Hi, Ben. How are you?
I am great, and I can't thank you enough for taking the time to do this. I noticed looking on your tour schedule, and I kind of see. I honestly, I don't picture that painting in your living room at home. So
She's a
I
beauty.
noticed
She's a real beauty, but I'm not at home.
you're out on the road tonight. You're in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, right?
I am. Yeah, I'm in a whole different place than normal, like out here living my best life on the road. So it feels good to be back with my my little Texas and Oklahoma buddies. That's where I'm at for this little tour. And then about a week from now I'll be back home and gearing up for the next thing.
Okay, that's great. Well, let me start with your. Okay, so your latest single is "Sent from Above," and
Yeah.
for the audience out there, you can find it wherever you stream your music. Okay, Apple Music, Spotify, so on and so on. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I found my California cowboy, and I got married about a year and 3 months ago, so I'm still kind of a newlywed. And
Awesome!
I
Congratulations.
well, thank you. Yeah, he's a good boy. So I decided that I would put my songwriting skills to use and try to write a song worthy of our love story, and that's kind of how it came out. So I released it for our 1 year anniversary, and it's been really sweet to see people like it and tell me their love story and how they met, and just enjoy the song that I wrote about my special California cowboy.
That's awesome. I think that's great. So I don't know if it's the artwork, thumbnail, whatever it is when you go on the streaming service. It's a picture. Is that you and your husband on that
It
photo?
is. It's one of our wedding pictures.
That's great.
It
That's
is,
great.
yeah. We had a real ranch wedding and, got some great pictures. We even had a mechanical bull at our wedding and dummy roping, and it was a real a real Western party.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I think that's so great. So, how long have you been doing this? The music stuff. How long have you been doing this?
Yeah, the music stuff, as since I can remember, I was literally born into it. You talked a little bit about my mom. I was born Western music royalty because she is in the Western Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But she was actually pregnant with me, and she was booked at the Portland Speedway because I'm originally an Oregonian. So she was booked there. She was signed to a record label at the time, and she had a gig with Ricky Skaggs and Lori Morgan and Clint Black and all these great people. And I was still hanging out, I was just like, well, the kid's not here yet. I don't want to miss the gig. What do I do? So she goes
Yeah.
into the doctor, and luckily he was a country music fan. And he's like, okay, Joni, well, yeah, I mean, like she's done. So if she hasn't arrived yet, why don't you come in on June 13th and we'll take care of it so you don't miss your gig. And sure enough, like June 13th rolled around, I hadn't arrived yet. So they go in and they put her in room 13. And then at 1:13, which military time is 13:13, I come out in the
Awesome.
world. Yeah, and 2 days later, I went to my very first gig, and she's just like this little tiny champion. And she's like, "Look what I did the other day." And now I'm just back at it, right out of the chute and hitting the road. That's that's how it works.
That's great. So don't tell me 13 is your favorite number, right? That's your
It
lucky number.
is. It is
Yeah.
totally a lucky number. Absolutely.
That's
It just
great.
pops up in all these random little places, and I'm like, "Oh, it's like a little sign from God that we're on
There you
the
go. Yeah.
on the right track."
That's it. That's awesome. I think I love it. So what I've been trying to take in my share of Olivia Harms music, and what I really like about it, and my audience knows where I sit music wise. They know that, I'm a hard rock guy to my core, but they know that I stretch it out a little bit. I love everything, and I do love my country music. But what I like about your sound is from the second I put on the first tune of your second album. We'll talk about that in a little bit too. Um, from the opening track, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I like this. This is like my good old country music. Um, it's that actually what I had told Catherine, my wife. I said, this is country western music. This
Yeah.
is this is country western, and it's got that good old school sound that I like so much. I really, really enjoy it. And um, tell me about your sound. Tell me about the choice to go that route, because so many artists, um, and I call it modern country. It's basically hip hop with a twang, and that is
Right.
not. I mean, you kind of ran away from that and gone the opposite direction.
Yeah, I definitely did. And I think a lot of it, I'll go into the story of how we got this mixing pot of music that I've created. But I
Sure.
think the base point is that I was raised on a ranch. It's a working cattle ranch. So I was raised on a place that's been in the same family, the Harms family, since 1872.
Oh
So
wow.
153 years of chasing cows around and, cutting hay and living the Western lifestyle. So that's truly ingrained in me. And then, listening to the kind of music that my mom makes, and I've always admired that, but I thought, well, I kind of got to blaze my own trail and like do my own thing too. And so we have the ranching background, and then of course, as soon as I could, I moved to Nashville and did that. And I was living in Nashville for 3 years, like 2017 to 2020,
Okay.
and it was very contemporary sound then. And so, I was like getting all these no's and all these people saying like, you're way too country for country music. And I thought, okay, I try to, push it a little bit and be a little bit more modern. And so we might have a touch of a mix of that in there. But then COVID sends me back to the ranch. I was like, I don't want to be stove up in an apartment in Nashville. So I
Yeah.
go back to the ranch, kind of wait for things to calm down. And as much as I love my West Coast home, they weren't the first to loosen up and drop the COVID regulations. So I saw all my buddies going down to Texas, and I was like, Texas is wide open. Like nobody, nobody nobody in Texas gives a rip in the world. So I'm gonna go down there, and I ended up, buying a travel trailer and loading up my dogs. I'm like, I'm gonna go live on the road and find people to listen to my music. So off I go, and I end up living in Texas for a couple years, and then you top that all off with like my West Coast home. I grew up listening to Merle Haggard and Buck Owens and Dwight Yoakam, and they're considered the kings of Bakersfield music. And so I guess you add all this in, you put it in your KitchenAid and whip it all together, and there
And
you
you
have
get
Olivia
Olivia
Harms
Harms.
music. There you go.
I love it. And you know, listening to that second album, um, the first track, what is it? Hey cowboy, hey there
Yeah.
cowboy. Yeah, name checks George Strait. So as soon as I heard that, I'm listening to it, and I'm listening in my truck, and I hear it, and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm gonna like this girl. I'm really gonna like this girl. And then it's like, I don't know, third or fourth track, Bakersfield, and
Yeah.
I tell Catherine, I said, okay, just don't say anything, just hang on, just listen, all right. And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting because I knew it had to come. And here comes name check, Buck Owens, and I was going, yes,
We
yes.
love him. We
I
love
know,
him.
I love it, I love it. I think that's great. So obviously, these artists were a tremendous influence on you, and being around your mother, she and I heard a track from hers this morning, and I almost thought it was you because it's just that same thing. So this is like
Hmm.
this is like it courses through your veins.
It
This
does.
sound, and yeah, this is no, it's so good. It's so good.
Oh,
I
thank you. Yeah, I mean,
no,
it's
I love it. I just absolutely love it. So I can see where your influences come from, and there's certainly nothing wrong with name checking Buck Owens. Come on.
oh man, no, the only thing I don't think I'll take from him is how he sang with his bottom teeth out. That might be the only thing I might not try to copy is, singing like this. But other than that, I love him. I love his like how he dressed, like the rhinestone suits and everything. Just like we got to get back to more of that.
And him, see, this is way before your time because I was little when this show was on, but Hee Haw, it's just a huge,
Yes.
huge show. I think do they still like show repeats on country music television? I don't even know, but
Yeah.
Roy Clark and Buck Owens, I mean, they made that show. And
Oh, absolutely.
yeah. And then,
It's classic.
this this blonde-headed skinny guy who wears jeans that look like they're painted on, Dwight Yoakam, comes along, and then he's like best buddies with Buck too, right to
I
the to the
know.
very end.
Yeah,
And
I know.
Buck was a huge influence on Dwight.
Yeah,
So
and it's
that's
just like that great sound, and I mean
mhm.
it's bringing back the honky tonks, and that's kind of my motto is like let's bring them back because that's some of the best music, some of the best times too, like we were kind of chatting about Brooks and Dunn, and like that's
Yeah.
the music you want to get out there and dance to and drink a cold beer to on a Friday night. That's what you want.
Absolutely. Absolutely good stuff. And it there's nothing pretentious about it. There's nothing phony about that
Right.
sound and the artists that carry on that sound. To me, and like I said, being the hard rock guy, there was a time during the late 80s, early 90s before grunge came in and smashed all that music that I really liked too, where it started to like duplicate itself over and over, and record companies were just going out for the big cash grab. Oh, we'll sign this artist because they sound like this artist over here, and then you had a
Right.
bunch of posers out there. And for me, and I'm probably going to catch crap for this, but in the country music world as well, I feel like I mean, look, you don't have to say anything, I don't want you to get in trouble, but I feel like I feel like there's a lot of that goes on, or there's a lot of posing out there because so many of these artists, and I don't care if they're making millions upon millions of dollars, they're all sounding the same. And
They are.
you don't, and you have that good old fashioned, and we said it, country western honky tonk sound, and it's tremendous. I absolutely love it. So
Oh, well, I appreciate it. Yeah, we're
yeah,
no cookie cutters here. We
no,
we
no,
go
no,
off the
no,
beaten
no.
path in this neck of the woods.
What I like about it too is you're like breaking that mold of the modern country and taking it, back almost, full circle to where it really began in that
Yeah.
in that sound. And I just love it. I love it so much. So we talked about some of your influences. You you were like, I don't know, 16, I think, when you released your first album.
It was.
Can
Yeah.
you can you tell us about that? And is that album still available anywhere at all?
It is, yeah. I haven't had it uploaded to Spotify,
Okay.
and I will at some point. The only reason is just because, like, with some of the stuff going on where I'm like trying to pitch and like have people learn Olivia Harms' honky tonk sound.
Yeah.
16-year-old me thought Taylor Swift was the queen. I mean, I was a typical, you
Okay.
know,
Okay.
Y2K kid, and I was writing 16-year-old songs about boys and what else do you learn to write songs about except for what's authentic when you're that age and what you're going through?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, I'm very proud of it. 16-year-olds don't make albums very often, so it's something I'm
Nope.
proud of. It's just if somebody was to look up Olivia Harms and then they get like a teeny bopper song, they might be like, "Wait, that's not what
So
we had in mind."
so we don't want to steer the audience to the first album right now. We'll take them back. I know there's when Rick Springfield back in the early 80s really hit hard in the United States. They
Yeah.
held back on his back catalog stuff because it was a little bit different, and he was more of a, I don't want to say, he was more of like a teen. Well, he was still a teen idol in the 80s.
Yeah.
He's 70 something years old. Really, he's still kind of a teen idol. I mean, gosh, the guy looks amazing. But yeah, so you don't want to start out with this being where you
Right.
are now in your career. We'll just bring everybody back in a little while, right?
Yeah, we're pulling a Rick, pulling a Rick Springfield. We'll
There you
like
go.
once they're a fan, then we'll let them have it. But it was a great experience. I mean, I got my first guitar from Santa Claus when I was 6 years old, and started playing and writing. And I made up songs about everything. I go feed my horse, or go out to feed cows, or move things around in the barn. And I'd always be making up songs about whatever I was doing. And then it started to turn into this thing where I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna write a song, and I have one about my hometown, can be, and it's been a fun song. You can be anything and can be is kind of the line in the song. And I
I love
remember I
it.
took it downstairs to my mom, and I was like, I wrote this song. And she's no dummy. She'd been hearing me up there working in my bedroom, but she knows that us Harms girls are stubborn, so we got to be left alone to do our work. And so I finally got her wrapped up, and I went downstairs and I said, would you listen to this song I wrote? And she said, "That's pretty good. I kind of wish I would have thought of that hook myself." And
I know. I
so
like
I,
that.
thanks. Yeah, you can't do that with every hometown, but I guess I kind of lucked out with Canby, Oregon, is you can move that one around to make it a hook.
Quite
But
creative. That's great. That's great. Well, just
thanks.
just to let you know, um, Santa and I, we're really, really good buddies. We've been good
Are
buddies for a
you?
long time. So
You're
I'm
pretty tight.
completely aware of the guitar you got a lot,
Mm-hmm.
some years back. We are really good buddies.
Yes, I bet you are. You look like you're a good elf.
So tell me tell me about, okay, the some of the greatest songs in music, doesn't matter the genre, were written in like 15 minutes on the back of a bar napkin, in a, sitting at a smoky bar or whatever it is. And then some were, you know, complete struggles,
Yeah.
even labors of love. What's your writing process? I mean, do you lock yourself away once a week, once a day, whatever it is, and write, or do you just have your cell phone sitting by your bedside and you wake up in the middle of the night with this idea and you open up voice memo and you put it in the cell
I
phone?
I've been guilty of all of it, Ben. I mean, I feel like there's definitely been the songs where you're like, I love this hook, and we've got a really good chorus, but the verses are going to have to support this story, and you fight and you fight and you fight, and it's not one that comes easy, but then at the end, it's what you wanted, but sometimes it takes a couple writing sessions to get through it. And then I've also had the ones that just like fall out of your mouth. They just fall from your heart, and like you say, next thing you know, you got her done, and you're like, well, that was the easiest song to write, 30 minutes and we're done. And, been definitely had them wake up in the night or write songs in my dreams. And then I'm thinking, that's really good. And either it is, or you wake up the next morning, listen to the voice memo, and you're like, I don't know what I was thinking there. I thought that was a hit. But there's all kinds of different ways of writing, and I'm definitely like open to all of them. I've tried all of them just because I think that's what it means to be an artist, is there's no right or wrong way to do it. As if you're getting a song at the end that you're proud of, then boy, you accomplished it no matter what kind of road it took to get there.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to be better at writing, once or twice a week now. There was a spell where you get busy, and I play over 200 dates a year, which is wonderful. I'm so blessed that I'm able to do that. But then at the same time, when you get off the road and you get home and you put the guitar away for a little bit, sometimes after you've been traveling and you've been playing and playing your heart out, the last thing you want to do is feel creative and get the guitar out again when you have your downtime to recoup and get ready to hit the road again. So, I feel like it goes through ups and downs. And like, right now I've been doing a lot of writing, which has been great, getting some new material created so we can get back in the studio and get some new music out for 2026. And just, I'm open to however they come to me. I'm just blessed that somehow I'm able to write a couple of them.
So that's kind of what your goal is right now, is to get enough material for an album and then get something put out next year.
Yeah, that's the goal. I think we're going to have another album in 2026. That's what
Oh,
we're
I think
pushing
that's great.
for.
I definitely will be looking forward to that one. um, so tell me about this TV series that you're doing. Tell me a little bit
Yeah.
about that and tell the audience about it.
What a crazy experience, Ben. I mean, I'll start from the get-go.
Yeah.
I got home from the National Finals Rodeo last year in 2024,
Hmm.
and I was sitting on my couch doing some follow-up work, doing my emails, the not so fun portion of my job. And all of a sudden I get a call, and I answered it, and this fellow on the other end says, "Hi, is this Olivia Harms?" And I said, "Yes." And he says, "Well, this is Taylor Sheridan, and I'd like to talk to you about being a part of a show." And I darn near hung up on him because I thought this got to be a joke. One of my friends is pulling something on me, that doesn't happen. And
Yeah.
I said, yeah, okay. And so I heard him out and tried to like pinch myself and say, I don't know if this is real or what, but
Yeah,
he said,
this really isn't Taylor.
this
No
is not
way.
happening. Like somebody's pulling my leg. Um, but he kind of explained the show that he and Blake were putting together, Blake Shelton, and I
Yeah.
said yes, I'm interested. And so then he said, well, I'll have one of my casting producers reach out to you. And it was just like definitely a God thing because I was living in Fort Worth and I got asked to play a private party. And it was like a little house concert with like 8 people, 4 couples. And he and his wife, Nick, were there. And I did like 30 minutes of playing in the living room, and they left. And I thought, oh, well, that's kind of cool. But I never dreamed that he would store that nugget away and then, reach out and see if I wanted to be a part of a show. But what a crazy experience. It moved really fast over the holidays and jumped through all these hoops to get ready to, maybe be cast for national TV. And next
Yeah.
thing I know, we're all packed up and we're in Nashville, and they say, okay, these are the 12 that we've handpicked to be a part of this brand new TV show called The Road. And it's on CBS and Paramount Plus. And they go through the rundown and they say basically y'all are going to be competing as openers in front of Keith Urban. He's going to be the headliner, and you
Yeah.
pile into the bus, we go on the road, we show what it's like to go from one place to the next, we show what it's like for you to go to home sweet hotel every night and live away from your family and really like show what it's like to grind on the road, because it's not just getting up on stage, playing a song and having this great time, having a drink, having a big party. It's really kind of hard to be away and be in a different bed, have to unpack, repack, just like the strain
Yeah.
of travel. There's all this other stuff that goes into it, which was neat that they showed that. And then they said, Keith Urban's audience is going to vote on who their favorite opener is, and
Oh wow.
y'all will slowly just dwindle down. And man, what a great experience. So I was there for a couple episodes, and I think I might have been a little bit too traditional country for the Keith Urban crowd. That's all right. I still got to play my music and find some new friends and fans. So ain't no sweat off my back. If you told me a year ago that I was going to be on national TV, I would have healed over backwards.
Right. And here's the thing too. You got probably more exposure doing however many episodes you did of that show to a national audience than you had previous to that.
Oh
And
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
and I mean, there's singing competition shows that have been going on for 25 years or whatever, and or actually even longer than that. Holy Toledo! I remember back in the 80s there was shows, but um, the winner of those shows doesn't necessarily go on to bigger
Right.
and better things. And I
It's
mean,
so
that was
true.
more, yeah, that was no more evident than with the stuff from American Idol. It wasn't always the winner of those shows or those seasons that went on to greatness. It was usually the one that finished second, third, or fourth, that kind of
Right.
thing. So yeah, I just think it's great that you got all this exposure, and now people, uh, especially ones that watch the show or in or country music fans, when they hear the name Olivia Harms, they know who she is. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. You can't even dream up like paying for or finding exposure like that, to be able to find my people. And that's really all I wanted out of the opportunity was as soon as I knew that the headliner was Keith Urban, I have nothing bad to say about him. I think he's an excellent entertainer and a terrific guitar player, but no one would realistically put me on a real tour with him to be his opener. I would be much more suited for Brooks and Dunn or Zach Top or Cody Johnson or somebody like that that's in the same realm of country music as me. So I just wanted to find some folks that like the honky tonk music that I like to make. And boy, I got that opportunity. And I mean, to even just to say that Olivia Harms is on a show with Blake Shelton and Keith Urban, created by Taylor Sheridan, is still this sentence that I can't really believe that I'm saying that. But yeah, just like such a crazy year, and I mean, so many blessings to be able to have that opportunity. And I mean, so many of the other artists that are still on that show are so talented, and they all so deserving. And to say that I was one of 12 that was handpicked out of the United States, that's not a bad thing. I'll take it.
no,
That's
no,
still a
I
big
think that's great.
compliment.
It's great. It's something to be proud of. Definitely. So you play guitar.
I do.
Any other instruments you play?
I fool around with some other stuff, but I kind of let my boys in the band tackle the big guns. I got a terrific fiddle player, and his brother actually plays steel guitar. So that family is talented, one on steel, one on fiddle. I let them do the cool stuff, and then I just focus on writing songs that might be worthy of playing.
Tell me about your band.
They are amazing guys. I've been with them for probably 5 or 6 years now. I met them. They're Oregonians too, so we're all from Oregon, and I call them the Road Runners because that's really all we do is we just travel up and down the road, going across the western states all year long. We're gearing up to go to the national finals rodeo here in about 3 weeks.
Yeah,
But they're wonderful, and just like really good people to be around. I'm so proud that I get to have them with me. That's really, you're spending so much of your time with them. They're kind of like your family, so you
yeah.
have to be able to enjoy them and get along and be drama free and all those things. And so I don't want to lose them. They are the best boys, and I'm so lucky to have them in my band. So if you come to Santa Clarita, you'll meet them.
Oh no, we're definitely coming. So that, yeah, that's a given. That's a given. So you're doing roughly like 200 shows a year.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm nuts or what, but I do it.
That's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of time on the road. How does that? Let me put it this. How does your husband feel about that? Does he come on the road with you, or does he have to stay back and hold down the fort at the ranch?
Yeah, he mostly stays behind and holds down the fort at the ranch, but he is able to come when he can. And
Yeah,
he is a busy bee himself. So he has his own welding. He's like all boy, cowboy rancher. And then he has a welding fabrication company. He builds
nice.
flatbeds and bumpers and all these custom racks. And then he also manages a big mechanical factory where they also like produce like, up in Northern California, there's lots of almonds and walnuts and
Mhm.
pecans and so he does all sorts of things and he's very busy himself. But he knew right from the get-go what I did because we actually met at a music festival. It's a great story. I had totally sworn off boys, as you do. Like you get to the point where you're like, okay, God, I'm done. I'm gonna focus on me. And that's always when he strikes, that's when he's like, okay, we got you to the we're done phase. We're gonna plan him in your life like 3 days later. And
That's what I
I
told
was
I
playing.
told my daughters. I don't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. I told my
No,
daughters the
I want
same
to hear
thing.
it.
Boys are icky. Boys are icky. Stay away.
They,
But
I mean, you seem like you're a good egg, but some of them are, we're like, I think I'm done here. I think I'm gonna just focus on the dogs. And that's to the point I got.
yeah,
And I mean, it was like no more than 3 days later, really, that I was playing a music festival, and it was in my hometown of all places. And the headliner was Zach Bryan, and I was on like the 2 p.m. opening slot. Woo, like really rowdy, get those
when
2
there's
p.m.
about 12
crowd, like
people out there. Yeah.
yeah, and you're like, woo, okay, we're gonna get wild. And I got all done, and since I was in my hometown, my mom had come with me, and I said, well, it's pretty rare that I get to have a Saturday free. As a musician, you're always headed on to the next thing or you're playing a Saturday night. So I said, let's enjoy some music. I never get to go to any concerts. So she was hanging out with me and we came through the back entrance and she said, oh, this guy keeps looking at you and you should maybe go say hi. I said, no, I'm good. Thank you. I don't think so. And anyway, the night went on, and eventually I kind of wandered over. I was on my way to like the bar or something, and I figured, well, he's in my path. I'll just say hi on my way by, and I don't know, then I guess it worked out from there, but he thought I was the guitar player's girlfriend because I had the VIP, like, artist badge on my
Oh,
purse,
yeah.
and, he said, you're here with one of the guitar players or something?" And I said, "No, I play. I played earlier today," and he was like, "Oh, I don't really?" And I was like, "Yeah, you must not have listened, or I didn't make an
Yeah.
impression on
Hey,
you."
bonehead. Why weren't you here at 2 o'clock when I was up on stage?
But yeah, I mean, he knew from the get-go, and then he said on his, because I mean, crazy, crazy that he would drive from Northern California to Canby, Oregon to see a music festival. That's 7-hour drive. And so the
Is
next
it
day when
really?
it's far. And it was just like him and his best friend on a whim wanted to see Zach Bryan so bad. And they said, well, closest he's going to be touring to us is 7 hours away. Let's go up to this music festival. And so on the way back, he said, I bit the bullet and I was pretty nervous to give your music a listen just because I liked you and I wanted to continue chatting with you. And I was worried,
Because you're
what if I
easy on
don't
the
like her
eyes. That's all.
music? And so he heard the music and so I guess it lived up to his standards and now he's my biggest fan. So he's a good sport. He knew right from the get-go what I did, what my dream is. He even helped me move to Texas. He met me and I was like, I'm buying a house in Texas. I don't think you want to date me. And
Wow.
he said, that's all right. I'll help you move. We can do this long distance thing. So we did long distance, me living in Texas for 2 years. And then he said, well, I think I'm kind of over having it be so far apart. Maybe we could get married and you could move to the ranch in Northern California. And so that's what I've done, and it's been wonderful. I never thought I'd be a Californian, but it turns out y'all aren't so bad.
Well, some of us, some of us
That's
are,
right.
some of us are actually pretty good. I won't get into too much, but I'm working on trying to straighten things out here in our fine
You go
state.
from the south end, I'll work on the north end. How's that?
All right, you got a deal, and I got a buddy of mine who's going to help us out with all of that. So yeah, we just have to spread the word. So
Love it.
okay, so your ranch, so it's a working ranch, huh?
It is, yeah. I've moved from one working cattle ranch up in Oregon, my hometown ranch, to another one, to another family ranch. So my husband also has a family ranch in a tiny little town called Vina, California, and that's where we
Okay.
live now. And there's way more cows than there is people. I think the town's like 130 people. It's real small, but we got a steakhouse and a winery and lots of cows, so it's a good place to be.
Steakhouse, that's hey, that's it. That's all you need.
Yeah,
Um,
steak and wine.
Me, I'm not so much of a wine drinker, but
That's
that's
all right.
okay.
I'll drink it for you.
Okay. All right. Deal. Um, so, so you got a show tonight. That's and show tomorrow in Oklahoma City, and then you've got coming up also. You said the NFR, right? That's coming up
Yes.
in December. I know you got. I mean, you have shows in between. I'm trying to pop up your website here. There it is. Yeah. So you're after Oklahoma, then you go down into Texas, and then you kind of go back home into Oregon, right? Somewhat
Yeah,
home.
it's kind of
Yeah, of
like it's sort of winding down a little bit for
yeah,
the season. I took October off so I could spend a little time at home. I
of
think
course.
my husband appreciated that. And, it's nice to just like ground myself while the show was coming out and be able to be home for a little while. And now it's busier again. The next few weeks are kind of crazy. I decided that I would road trip to Texas and Oklahoma. Still have my house here in Texas, and I left a whole bunch of furniture here. So I figured, what the heck, I got to be here anyways. I'll drive from California to Texas, go pick her up and take it. So I'll be having a table and chairs and all sorts of stuff on my journey back later this week after my shows. And then we gear up for Thanksgiving. I have a few days at home for that week, and then I go play in Oregon for a couple shows, and then I go straight
Yep.
back home, repack, and get ready to go to Las Vegas for the NFR, which is the National Finals Rodeo. If you have friends that maybe don't know what we're talking about, it's like the Super Bowl of rodeo, and it's 10 nights, and it's rodeo's biggest event. Everybody goes, and it's this just like amazing time when all the cowboys go to Vegas. If you're ever going to go to Vegas, I might be biased, but I think that's the best time to go.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. I don't think that's bias at all. That's just kind of telling it like it is. um, what was I? Oh, so um, you don't have a guitar handy, do you? You don't have one.
I do. Would you like me to play something?
I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you. It just hit me. It just hit me. I don't think you can actually sing anything on my show. I mean, even though it's your music, but I
Yeah.
have never had anybody play on the Ben Maynard program.
Well, we can give her a go. I
I
mean,
would look, and if you want to sing and they cut it out, they edit it or whatever. So I don't edit anything. What I
yeah.
hit start, I hit stop, everything in the middle goes. But uh, I would love it. That would be so great.
Let me grab it and we'll give it a go.
Ah, that would be tremendous. Right here,
You
folks,
got
right
it.
here. Ever, first time ever, live music being played on the Ben Maynard program. That is so awesome. What a giver Olivia
Oh
is. That's
man,
great.
no, this is fun. It's actually you did it just right because I was working on some new music last night in the hotel room. We finally had to shut it down around 10 p.m. because my mom's here with me, and I made
She
her
is.
yeah, I made her road trip with me across the country because I was like, well, like I can go back on my own, but it sure would be fun if I had a partner to travel with. And so she came along with me, and we were working on some new music last night, and finally at 10 p.m. I was like, shoot, our neighbors probably don't love this.
If
So we
if
finally
your
wrapped her
mom
up.
if your mom has her face on and she's not too shy, I would love to just say hi or love for her to say hi. But I want to hear some music
Yeah. Okay, deal. I'll see
first.
if I can
Yeah, first
grab
things
her
first.
attention. Okay, you got it. Do you have anything special you want to hear, or just dealer's choice?
No, this is on you. This is on you.
Okay, dealer's choice. Let's see here. Let's do one of the songs that I played on this show. So if there's anybody that's curious what the road and the TV show is all about, the coolest part for me was that we were able to play our original music, and that's the very first show that I'm aware of, where it's a music competition show, and they allow the artists, songwriters, to share what they write. A lot of times with the other ones like The Voice and American Idol, they're wonderful also, but you're usually playing someone else's song, and so I
Yeah,
was just tickled
yeah,
that
they're
I
just
was gonna like, yes, that I was gonna be able to like share my truest, most authentic music, because that's what it is if you write it, it's got to be really authentic and special to you, and that's going to be the very best way for an audience to get to know you is just through the music you write.
exactly, because if you're just singing, if you're just doing covers of other people's stuff, people, oh, this person's very talented, they've got a great voice, whatever it might be, but what else do they know about them?
Right, exactly. So that sold me on the show. As soon as I found that out, I was like, I'm in. I want to be able to play my own music. And so this was my very first song. It was in episode one. We filmed it in Fort Worth at Tannehill, and it's one of my favorite songs that I've written. Backstory is I kind of had some writer's block, and I called my mom because that's what girls do when things go wrong. I don't know if your
Yeah,
kids are that
right.
way, but that's how I am. And I said, Mom, I don't know. I just feel like I haven't been able to write or finish anything. And she said, well, you just, sit down and just really try to be honest and like don't overthink it. Just go from the heart. And I was at a time in my life where, it was right before that time where I swore off men. But when you're traveling, you feel like, man, you go to one town and you've been to so many places, but you haven't really seen any of them because you just go and you play for the evening and then you move on the next day. And I really thought, boy, I meet some nice people. I really sincerely do, but I don't get to ever give them any time or really, pursue anything. I just break hearts and move on to the next town. And so before I knew it, this was one of those times where I was like, okay, I finally just turned off my brain and let it fall out, and we got ourselves a song. So I'll do
All
it for
right,
you. It's called This Ain't
cool.
My First Rodeo.
Yeah, nice. uh, Olivia, hold on, hold on,
Okay,
hold on, wait, you're strumming the guitar, and it's not picking up anything, unfortunately. I'm
it's
just
not?
wondering.
Okay.
No, 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 I'm wondering if my service is muting it because it's music. It
Okay.
shouldn't, but it is. So
Is
maybe
it?
they're not going to, they might not be allowing me to do this,
Okay.
even
The
though
other
it's
thing
not.
I can do is take my ear pods out if you want to try it. We can try that
Oh,
too.
you get stuff. Okay.
I
All
do.
right.
Do you want to give it a go? We'll give it one more
Yeah,
go and
yeah,
see
yeah.
if she
Hey,
takes. Okay.
if we could, yes, of course I want to try this because we can get some live
Okay.
music played on this show. Come on. Yeah.
Works.
All right. Let's see if that works.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Ah,
Take two.
there it is.
Is it working?
Yep.
Okay. This little lady was born to run, chasing down that morning sun. About the time you came along, I was fixing to get gone. Sorry it's gotta be this way, maybe I'll come back one day. This ain't my first rodeo, we'll have a good running when it's time to go. I'll leave you in a cloud of dust, driving off in my pickup truck. Darling, don't try to tie me down, won't be long, I'm leaving town. I break hearts, baby, don't you know? This ain't my first rodeo. Ooh, 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 ooh. I don't mean to lead you on. Sometimes I let things go too long. Big dreams can leave my heart a mess. Too late for me to change, I guess. Sorry, it's gotta be this way. Maybe I'll come back one day. This ain't my first rodeo. We'll have a good running when it's time to go. I'll leave you in a cloud of dust, driving off in my pickup truck. Darling, don't try to tie me down. Won't be long, I'm leaving town. I break hearts, baby, don't you know? This ain't my first rodeo. Ooh, 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 ooh.
That
Voila!
was awesome. That was so good. Oh my goodness, that was great. That-
Thank
you know,
you.
what an absolute sport you are. Thank you so much for doing that. Just, I,
Absolutely.
I don't know. I was just like, just out on the road, got a show tonight. Probably got to have a guitar laying around somewhere.
That's
So,
right. You know we do. Yeah, I'm sure the neighbors like that. At least it's like noon here now in Oklahoma, so I ain't keeping them up
yeah.
like I was
Uh,
last night playing.
what a, just what a great song though. And look,
Thank you.
I love your voice. I love it. I love the twang and the honky tonkness in it. It's just and it doesn't. I used the word before, so I don't want to keep repeating myself. But it doesn't come off. Well, no, I won't use the word. It doesn't come off contrived at all. It's just
Well, good.
it's who you are, and I absolutely love it. It sounded great. I hope that StreamYard doesn't try to mute that out for 2 minutes of the show, but we'll see what happens. Hey, at least I got to hear it.
That's right. You got it.
Yeah. So no, that's beautiful. That was great. I really, really appreciate that. Do you ever, and I think I might know the answer to this, but during downtime, family time, and it sounds like you're actually really, really close with your mother, especially if you're taking her out on the road with you. Um, do you ever just break out a guitar and just sit around the campfire at the ranch or sit in front of the fireplace at home or whatever and just bust out, start singing songs?
Absolutely. Yeah. Music is such a big part, especially of like the Harms family.
Yeah.
And so that's like how I grew up is all like my mom's side of the family is all very musical. So
Yeah.
I grew up with that. Like the holidays were always a blast. And then it's funny, you get to be an adult or a little older, and then you realize that not everybody's family does that. And then you're like,
Yeah.
wait, what? Nobody, like, not all like busting out and singing around. But, it's really cool. And my husband's family, they're not musical, but they are music lovers. And I always say, like, I wouldn't have a job if there wasn't music lovers. So I'm so thankful that there's maybe more music lovers that aren't, capable of playing music than there are actual musicians, because I would be out of a job if everybody played music. So it's
Yeah.
it's been really cool, and they're so supportive of what I do, and I know I have a really unique job. I'm sure that's maybe not what every set of parents would choose for their kid to marry someone that's like there and gone and on the road and then back. And but they're really just the best, and they're so supportive, and like they come out to all my local shows and they have me play when I'm home, and we have like little family gatherings. So I couldn't have got any luckier.
No, I think that's great. And I have so much admiration for anyone who can play an instrument. I don't care if it's the recorder, but um because I can't. I've owned guitars. I have an acoustic in my attic. Yeah, hanging in my attic. I have a bass guitar that needs repair that's hanging in my attic. I have owned other guitars throughout my life. I am an absolute music lover,
Yeah.
and it's something that's a part of me. And the shame is that I can't. I couldn't play a note to save my life, unfortunately, and that's probably that is a regret of mine, is that I don't play any instruments, and so I have so much admiration for anyone who does play music. I love it.
Well,
And
it's
it takes
probably the only talent I have. I'm probably not good at much else,
no,
but
no, I doubt that. I doubt that. Come on. You're probably a pretty good cattle herder and maybe even a little roper or something like that. I don't know.
I try to be handy and helpful while I'm home for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I just am so grateful that I get to make a living doing something that I love, because that's something I wish for everybody in their life, is that they get to be able to do something that they love for a living, and I'm very lucky because I know that that's not how it goes for everybody.
And yeah, and that's an app. It's you're right. Not everyone gets to do what it is that they absolutely love to earn a living. And for anyone who's in the business or who kind of has knowledge of the business, and I do a little bit, it's a tough business. And that's
It is.
exactly what it is. There's two parts of that. There's the music and then there's the business. And it's that second word that is the hard part about all of it.
Oh, it totally is. And I mean, like, yeah, I know what I do is probably complicated for a lot of folks that don't understand, like the business side of it, like you were saying. But it's so funny, even when you think like you've kind of made a couple steps up, and I still have a long way to go. But it never shocks you the amount of people that'll come up and be like, "How's your little music thing going? Like, do you ever make any money at that?" And I'm like, "Oh, oh."
Oh, you want to wring someone's neck. Oh, I lost you for a second here. Let's see if you pop back up. There you wait, hang on. Your screen went black.
Hold on. You won't
Yeah,
make.
that's okay. Yeah. I
How do I
still
get
have
you
your
back?
name. I just don't have your screen up. But that's all right. We'll give it a minute. Hey, technical issues here on the Ben Maynard program. What else is new, right? We do this all the time. Let's see. Let's do
Hold
this.
on. You sound like
Yeah.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh no. Oh no.
uh, it's pretty entertaining from my end, I have to say.
Great. Then
uh,
maybe I should talk
can you sing the hula
slow.
hoop song?
Oh, geez. How about, you know what? Do you want to I don't know if it's your camera or not, but maybe if you disconnect and then
Okay.
try the link again, and then
Okay. We'll do it.
we'll go that way. Yeah.
Okay.
All
Hold
right, I
tight.
can yeah, I can riff for a minute or so. It's no big deal.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
All right, Alvin.
I will see you in a minute. All right, we'll get her back. We'll get her back. Oh, but was that not tremendous? First time ever. First time ever. I don't want to zoom in. I know I'm a little far away. I'm a little far off the camera, but I don't want to zoom in on me because when Olivia comes back, then we'll get her back on. But yeah, was that not awesome or what? That was just the best. Oh, there she is.
We're
Hey,
back.
you're back.
Oh, and you're back to Ben. Okay, well, that was really entertaining for me. I wish everybody could have heard uh, Alvin Alvin Maynard. That would have been fabulous.
I was actually going to start trying to talk in slow motion to slow it down a little bit.
Oh, well, I have no idea what happened. My apologies if I fouled it up for you, but
Nah, no, you nah. Trust me, it's not a big deal. Look, I do stupid stuff all the time, and I say to my audience, like I told you earlier, I hit record and stop, and everything in between goes warts and all. It's
all
it
right.
it it look, it's like a live show. When you're out there performing on stage and something goes wrong, you just got to keep going, right?
I mean, that's the truth. Yeah, you can't stop. You just gotta say, okay, here we are. And no matter what I sound like or what happens, we're gonna just keep rolling forward because that's the only thing you can do.
And at least the audience knows it's all live and it's all
Yep.
real,
And you're all
which
human.
yeah, and because there's a lot of artists out there that are doing a lot of faking, and
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
so
nothing
enough.
fake here. I couldn't try to be anything other than what I am. You know, I learned a long time ago that this is kind of just what you get because that's all I can do.
What you see is what you get. That's okay. That's okay. it's a lot to see, and so it's a lot to get. That's great stuff. All right. So okay. So I want to are we up for just, I don't know, kind of a little game? Can we do that?
Absolutely. I love games.
All right. All right. So actually I was told that and didn't even know, but I was told that this kind of came from the television show The Office, and that's the island questions. I had no idea because
Okay.
I don't watch The Office. I never saw it, but um, okay. So the island questions. You're gonna go live on a deserted, not a desert island. People confuse that. Not a desert island, but deserted.
Okay.
You're gonna go live the
Deserted.
rest of your
No
life.
one's
Yeah,
there.
yeah, all by
Okay.
yourself. And but we'll give you some supplies to sustain yourself for the remainder of your days. So,
Okay.
what kind of food is Olivia Harms going to take?
Man, that's tricky. I have to go agricultural, like I have to be able to have it be something that I could grow and then keep
Okay.
going. So probably some sort of like fruit, maybe. I don't know, like an apple tree. I'd probably get tired of apples, but they'll grow.
I,
Or maybe that I don't know if I'd be
I thought you
alive
were
that long.
I thought you were a meat eater. I thought you liked
I
a good
know,
steak.
I do love steak. But if it's deserted, how am I gonna reproduce and get more steak? I don't know. That's tricky. But
You're
yeah,
don't overthink this. Don't overthink
overthink
it,
it. Okay.
Olivia.
That's what happens when you ask an agricultural person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, probably like some good steak and popcorn. I'm a big sucker for popcorn. That's my favorite snack.
All right. Okay. Um, what kind of candy bar are you going to take?
Like some dark chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah, I
All
know.
right.
I'm like a step up from the slight bouge, not full bouge, but like above the Reese's,
Not
like
full
a
boost. Yeah.
slight bouge, just some dark chocolate.
That's okay. Yeah, I for me, I was always a milk chocolate guy through and through,
Yeah.
Um and then I met Catherine, and she likes her dark chocolate, and she'll even like to mix it in. Give me some dark chocolate with caramel or something like that,
Oh
and
yeah.
so I do find myself snacking on some dark chocolate here from time to time and enjoying it as well. So
I
yeah,
like your
good.
wife. I think we'd be friends too. She sounds
She's
smart.
actually yeah, and she's actually way better half of me. That's for sure. She is. I always tell everyone that I am the lucky one in my marriage. She not at all. I'm the one that struck gold. She's the pot of gold at the end of my rainbow, definitely.
I love it.
But okay. So we got a good steak or maybe some apples or something, and
I know.
popcorn too.
Yeah.
And we
Yes.
got some dark chocolate. Okay.
Sounds like
Um,
a great meal. I'm already
yeah,
excited.
why
I'm
not?
hungry now.
Okay. What book are you going to take to read?
Oh man, I don't know. Does it like totally make me just like your average Christian girl if I just say the Bible? Because that's all you need?
No, because honestly, I would probably take the same book.
Yeah.
So not at
That's
all.
my answer. Yeah, if I'm gonna
Okay.
be alone forever, I'm gonna take the Bible and, you know, learn more.
There, learn more. And probably the answer to just about any question you can come up with is
Yep.
in there somewhere. You just got to know
Yep.
where to
And then
look.
I'll be ready to go whenever he's like, your time on this island is done. I'll be like, all right, let's go.
There you go. All right. So music wise, what album or sorry, you don't know what an album is. What CD?
I do. I know. I know
Sorry, I know.
albums. I'm 30 years old.
That was just a cut at your age. That's all. All right. So what album or CD are you taking with you?
Mm, um, probably. Um, let's see. I want to say like Brooks and Dunn, probably like their greatest hits because I can dance and I can feel sad. They got it all right in there, like
Yeah.
in their greatest hits album. They've got
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
all. I'll never get bored of listening to that.
Yeah, actually, if I put on a little, when I'm outside of, out on my patio or whatever, I got a couple televisions hanging out there, and if I'm going to listen to some Brooks and Dunn, I'll put on a greatest hits from Brooks and Dunn, and yeah, you just get a little bit of everything, and
Yeah,
it's
and it's like it's perfect.
gosh, so good, so good.
So good.
Um, okay, what movie are you going to take to watch?
Probably How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
All right.
I never get tired of it. I mean, who doesn't love some Matthew McConaughey? All right, all right, all right.
All right, all right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I had to kind of be more original than that. So I always say right on, but not
Right
all
on,
right.
right on,
So,
right on.
right on. So yeah, a good rom-com. There you go.
Yeah,
Um,
you feel good.
okay, one person for conversational purposes only, living or dead. But of course, when they come to the island, they're
Hmm.
gonna be serving your purpose, and so they'll be alive so that you can have conversation for the remainder of your days.
I mean, as much as I love my mom and my husband, I probably would have to say my Papa Harms. Because I only got like 7 years with him, and I mean, man, he's got all the best stories, and I'd love to hear more of them as an adult and get to like really digest them and like hear about what he went through in his time. And he was World War II vet, so I'm sure he's
Oh,
got like crazy stories about that, and like just yeah, he
you
was one of my favorite people ever.
love it. I absolutely love it. World, especially being a World War II vet. My father was a World War II vet as well.
Ah,
Yeah, he served on a destroyer in the Pacific, and so and for you to say that, for you to bring up your dad, to be that one person. I agree, and I'm not going to get into all the nastiness, but I agree with that part, because that would probably be the same thing for me as well. Because my like I said, my dad served in World War II, didn't really ever talk about it, and and then he passed away in 1998 when he was 75. So I, now being an adult, I didn't
yeah,
really get to have those, get to hear about those stories, or try to get him to talk about some of those stories as well. So it'd be nice to
yeah.
get that. And that actually, it's a goal of mine. I don't want to bird walk here during this, but that is a goal of mine, is to try and I don't have much longer to do this, but to try to get a World War II vet on the podcast. So
Oh man, that would
'cause
be incredible.
the greatest generation ever.
Oh,
So,
they are.
okay. So that I think that's great. I think that's awesome. It's not corny or anything like that. I think it's great. Um, all right. How about a little of this or that?
This or that. Okay, let's do it.
A little this or that. There's no wrong answer.
Okay. I won't overthink it, Ben, I promise.
Yeah, you don't have to. Beatles or Stones?
Beatles.
Okay. All right. Cheeseburger or pizza?
Mm, pizza.
Okay. Actually, I think we're going to fire up the pizza oven tonight and have pizzas.
Sounds
So,
so good.
yeah. Um, let's see. Cake or pie?
Pie, for sure.
What kind of pie?
Really any kind of pie, but like berry pie, pumpkin pie,
Okay.
any like the good ones that you can just tell a grandma made.
Oh,
I want it.
wow. Wow.
I want it.
Maybe a little bit of, maybe even a little peach cobbler with a little extra
Yes.
butter and a little extra sugar in it too.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, we opted out for cake in our wedding just to show how like redneck we are. We're like, we don't need no cake. We're gonna have like all these cobblers, and there's a dairy down the road. They make homemade ice cream. So we're like, nobody needs cake here. We'll have
Oh,
cobblers
I
and homemade
know.
ice cream.
Oh, I love that. See, it's okay to steer away from tradition. It's all right, and just kind of do
And
your
we
own
weren't
thing.
mad. Yeah, we loved it.
No, and I'm sure your guests weren't hating it either. I'm sure.
No, and it was nice and warm. We had an August wedding, so it was hot. And then I'll tell you what, at the end of the night, I think it was like 3 a.m. when we were finally done dancing, and it was the small posse of friends. And I was like, I think none of us were sober either, So
Oh,
we'll put that out there and be honest.
yeah.
And we were like, I think there's ice cream somewhere. And I know that at one point my husband had a communal ice cream ladle, and he was feeding my fiddle player, and I mean, everybody's just like going wild over the ice cream. Is
Love it.
you can't go wrong
That
with that.
that's awesome. What when did you get married? When's your anniversary?
August 10th of 2024. And a really
Okay.
cool side story about that is that was my grandparents' anniversary. So my Papa Harms, the one that I would have on the island with me, he was married to my grandma Anna for like 60 years, and they were just like the sweetest love story ever. And so we got married on their anniversary, which happened to fall on a Saturday. And when I chose that date and I told my husband and my in-laws to be, she said that date sounds so familiar. And so then the next day she went to her date book and kind of looked around, and she said that was my parents anniversary. So both of our
Wow.
maternal grandparents anniversary was August 10th, and we were like, okay, well, so like it's a
See,
god wink,
it
he
was just
likes it.
supposed to be. Yeah, it was
It's
just
right.
supposed. That's how it was supposed to happen. That's awesome. I only asked because you mentioned August and my birthday's in August, so that's
Oh,
all.
well, when's your birthday?
The 17th. So
Okay. Well,
yeah,
happy
yeah.
happy late birthday. 3
Oh
months
no no
late.
no no no! Please please, it's way beyond that, and I don't need happy birthdays anymore. But no, I just asking. But okay, let's get back on. So we left off with cake or pie. So we got pie out of that. All right. That's a tough one for me too. I love
I
cake.
know.
I love so many different types of cake too, and like most of the time, the more chocolate, the better as well. But pie is a really good one. Oh, so good. All
It's
right,
hard.
yeah, it is. All right, so now the beach or the lake.
Hmm, probably the lake. I do love the ocean. I absolutely do love the ocean. But I don't want to swim or really float in the ocean too often, I guess, Like unless
Yeah.
you're in the Caribbean or like, I guess down where you are, Southern California, you got nice
No.
beaches for
No.
I don't
No.
know.
No, we don't. No, we
So,
honestly don't.
but, but a lake, you can always like go float around, spend the day. That's probably more my vibe. Like have a ranch
Yeah.
water in my hand, send the dogs out there. That sounds more like my
You
jam.
get a raft or an inner tube, float with a nice cold, ice cold beer in your hand, right?
Now we're talking.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm the same way, minus the beer. I'm not a beer drinker, unfortunately. Well, I shouldn't say unfortunately. I'm just not it's one of those things you have to acquire a taste for it, and I just can't do that. Uh, you
Yeah, it's
know.
okay. I'm not a beer drinker either. I like the
Okay.
in Texas they have it's called ranch water, and it's like tequila, soda water, and lime in a can. So it's kind of like a White Claw, but I think it's much better. It's not as
Well,
sweet. So if I can get those, we'll be
there
we'll be
you
really
go.
happy.
And if it's got tequila, then it's going to be pretty good because I do like my tequila. Um,
See, I knew we'd be
yeah,
friends.
I do like my tequila. That's for sure. Um, okay, day or night?
Day. I'm a daytime person. I think that's because I mean, no matter where I'm at, even if we play until 2 in the morning, I'm still usually waking up around 7 a.m. That's
Yeah,
my like latest sleep in time usually. So I'm
yeah,
programmed to be a morning person and love the daylight, get things done.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so we're done with that. That was great. I love it. Where's your mom? Where's your mom? Is she around? Is she tending to the dogs?
Yeah, she took them out. She took the
Oh, okay.
dogs
All
out.
right. I just
Dang it.
wanted to say hi. Nah, no big
I
deal. I
know.
just wanted her to say hi, and I can say hi back. That's all. Um, okay,
If she
so
comes back, I'll let you know.
tell everyone where they can find Olivia Harms.
Yeah, I mean, if you're wanting to follow along and see the
Yeah,
adventures, like see how cute my dogs are, any good stuff like that, social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, I don't know, wherever else people follow you, but whether you like to follow, just look up Olivia Harms music and you'll find me. And then if you want to listen to it, all the streaming platforms, if you want some swag or you want to check out tour dates or anything like that, oliviaharms.com is where we keep all those.
Or if I want to buy something from your closet.
That's right. Yeah, I did do a closet clean out, and I'm sure
I know.
you're really on top of it, Ben. I'm sure you wanted all sorts of stuff from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm so lucky that I get to have this job where, I get to dress up and like I have two personalities for sure. When I'm out touring, I get to look nice and, try to be fashionable. But then when I'm home, I swear there's days where my sweet husband comes home and I probably look like I'm homeless because I've been cleaning all day and just like don't want to even think about getting dolled up. But I do get to have lots of fun clothes that sometimes people will send me, or I get to support them or do a collab. And, you
Yeah.
can only fit so many things in a ranch house. And so once in a while, I got to clean them out to make room and send them on to somebody else's closet.
All right. No, that's great. I know I need to get me some Olivia Harms swag too. Uh, especially if we're coming out to Cowboy Festival next April.
Well, we
Um,
can fix you up.
good, good. And uh, okay, so so Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, right? Those are the socials.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. All right. I don't remember
YouTube.
if
I don't know. I had a Twitter one time, but I didn't get very good at the tweeting, so I kind of just
I'm
let
not,
it die.
I'm not great at any of this stuff. I am
No.
this is like so out of my wheelhouse. I tell people, even doing this podcast, I say it's held together by chewing gum and scotch tape. It's like
Luna.
it's just, but I can't even do
Luna.
my own. I can't even do my own thumbnails. Whenever I post it onto the YouTube channel, I have to have Catherine do all that stuff for me. She's so smart, and I'm just a dummy. So,
That's okay.
but are you petting a dog there,
I am. Yeah. We have one of them. Come here. You want to say hi? Come here. She's shy, but this is Luna.
Luna?
She's yeah, she's my border collie Catahoula cross dog, and she's pretty special, but she was sounding off. I think she heard a maid or somebody out there. So sorry that you
Okay,
got to hear her little
I didn't
voice.
do anything. I saw your hand over here, and I thought, wait a minute, that looks like she could be petting a dog or something. So no, I told you before, dogs are the best, and I know
They
dogs
are.
will always be welcome on the podcast.
She's like, I'll make my debut. Hi, Ben. My name's
Yeah.
Luna.
Hi, Luna. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so we know where we can follow Olivia now. We know where we can find her music. It's on the streaming services. Okay, just look up Olivia Harms. If you like just that good old country western honky tonk sound. Okay. You don't have to be old like me to appreciate it, because look, Olivia's half my age, and she's out there doing it. So she's bringing that stuff back, and I love it to pieces. It is so good. So check it out wherever you stream your music, wherever you get it. And yeah, it's just so good. And I look forward to meeting you. Um, we're going to get that done. And I can't thank you enough for doing this today on show day.
Oh my gosh,
Show
it's so fun. I've had a great time. Thank you for having me on.
No, there's a lot of artists that don't want to do interviews on the day of a show, and I mean, I understand it. I mean, your voice is your tool, it's your instrument, so I completely understand that. But yours is just so good, and again, premiering live music on the Ben Maynard program, the first time ever. Yes,
Yeah,
and
I'm
what?
honored. I'm honored to
And
be
no,
your first
I'm the one
one.
that's honored. What a great honor, and what a great song too. My first rodeo. So
Well,
all
thank
good
you.
stuff. Do me a favor. I'm just gonna close up shop, but stick around with me, okay? All right. Can
You
you do
got it.
that?
Thank you, Ben. You
No,
got
no.
it.
All right. Stay right here. All right, everyone. Listen, we'll call it. We'll wrap it up right here. And thank you for being here again. This program is available wherever you get your podcasts. Just search the Ben Maynard program. Boom, it's right there. Subscribe to it. Give me a 5-star rating. Download it. Share it with all your people. If you've enjoyed this, half as much as I have, and you really liked Olivia, you liked her, look, live performance. Come on, it doesn't get any better than that. And you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment. Okay. Tell 1,000 of your family and friends also, and share it with all your people. Last but not least, follow me on Instagram, simply the Ben Maynard program. I'm sorry. Nope. That's the wrong one. Simply Ben Maynard program, all one word, Ben Maynard program. And then on the TikTok, and I know, I don't have to say the, but I do because I'm an old guy. TikTok is the Ben Maynard program. All right. So again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you to Olivia because she was fabulous. And let you guys go. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. This is the Ben Maynard program. Tell a friend. Right.